Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me okay. Maybe let's wait a few more seconds and we can get started. If the audio quality is good, you can message it here so that I can know that I don't want to change any settings. And I will be sharing the code after today's session because I just finished the coding. It all, oh, audio is a bit quiet. Maybe I should talk a little bit more. Uh, I'll try to talk a little bit louder. I thought the audio quality is good. In my settings, it's very high. Cool. I will talk a little bit louder. So what we are going to do is, it's a very interesting project. Let's say you want to know if you want to invest in some company like Google or Tesla's stock. What you can do is we are going to build some app where you input is like, should I invest for Google stock, something like that. Then in the back end, what it's going to do is it will use the last 3 month stock data. Then it converts the stock as a graph like this. Then it also pulls all the recent news about the company that we are planning to invest, like very recent news like today and yesterday news. Then it will analyze everything and it will tell you the stock portfolio, like how the the output will be, like predictions for the next 3 days, whether you can invest or not, things like that. So this is what we are going to build. If you have any questions, you can ask it here. um, I will show you all the code and I will walk through the code. Then after today's session, maybe tonight, I will publish the code on my blog. So this is my blog. I have also shared a lot of recent things, like you can go through this. I will publish one more blog post tonight about this work. Cool. Let's get started. So the goal is we need to find the stock data and then convert the stock data to a graph. Then once that's done, we use the graph also along with the news. So this is the news for the company we are planning to invest, let's say Apple. So you will get all the news related to Apple. Then, so this is the news. You'll see the title, link, and images, then some short snippet of the news. Then we construct a LLM using Anthropic Claude 3 models. Uh, you create a prompt, then you will get some response like, based on the trend and the news, next 3 days, the stock will be like this: 176, 174, 177, something like that. And it also explains the reason behind it. Cool. Then we will look into function calling. Then we will automate this process. For example, you don't have to pass something like AAPL or like a stock code to get the response. You can use natural language, like I'll show you. Should I invest in Apple stock? So this is your question. Then function calling, take this, then it converts some input to some functions, then it uses the output, then it compiles everything and you will get a final response like this. Cool. Let's get started. So since I have done all the coding, I'm not gonna type anything. I will just walk through all the code. You can ask me questions anytime on Slack. I will also monitor the questions. Cool. Okay. So for today's session, we are using Claude Anthropic, Anthropic Claude 3 models. So you can go to this one. I'm sharing it here. Okay. So this is a link where you can get some API key. Click this, then get API keys. So here you can click create keys, create key, then you will get some key. Then after getting the key, what you can do is you can create something like dot environment. Like the dot environment looks like this. Here you can type Anthropic API key equal to, you can type your key there. Cool. So once that's done, you have to save that as a dot environment file. So now we are going to use load dot environment library. So if you are using this for the first time, you have to install load dot environment library. So you can use ChatGPT or any LLM and you can ask questions. So to install this library, you have to use pip install python.environment. You can copy this and put it here. To run this, you can use exclamation mark. Then if you run this, it will install the library. So I have already installed. I don't have to do this. But if you are getting some error message like this library is not installed, something like that, you can install like that, like this. Cool. So since we are using Anthropic library and the function calling is very new, for that you have to install pip install Anthropic upgrade. So if you do that, you will get the recent version of Anthropic library. So you can do this, uncomment and run this. It will install everything. Once the installation is done, you can comment. Cool. Yep. Slate mentioned when you first sign up for Claude API, you get 5 free usage, which is good. Yeah, I think everyone gets $5 for the initial sign up, which is enough for few experiments. And I'm using a little bit expensive model compared to a lot of cheaper ones, but I will tell you how to change those things too. So that will be helpful. Cool. So I'm getting my API key. So once this library is loaded from .environment, load .environment, you can get the API key, os.getEnvironment, and here I typed .environment sample, Anthropic API key. So this is my key. I can get the value like this, os.getEnvironment, Anthropic API key. Cool. Maybe let's restart everything and I will run top to bottom so that you will see how long it's taking, things like that. Okay, so I'm creating a client. Client is Anthropic. I'm just passing my API key. So client is ready. So now we need to get the stock data. To get the stock data, you have to use Y Finance library. So this comes from Yahoo Finance. So you can Google how to install this. So this is pip install Y Finance. If you copy this, put it here and run, it will install the library. Okay. Then we are using matplotlib to visualize the trend of the stock for the last 3 months. So here I'm getting the end date, which is today, and I'm getting the start date, which is 90 days ago, which is 3 months ago. Then I'm extracting the data on start and end, which is start is 3 months ago, end is today. Then we are downloading everything. Let me see. Hey Leo, I'm going to publish the code tonight on my blog. You can have a look. I just finished all writing the code. I can share the code tonight. Cool. So this will download all the stock data. Then we are returning the stock data. So this is one function. Then in the second function, we are having the stock code and stock data, and we are plotting it. So which is just a normal time series plot. Then after plotting it, we are saving the file as stock code underscore stock graph.png. Then we are returning the stock file too. So I'm interested in Apple stock. Maybe let's change this to Microsoft MSFT. Let's run this. So Microsoft stock looks like this, and this file is also saved here. So you can see it here. So this file is saved. Now we are going to use DuckDuckGo search to get some news about Microsoft. So let's change this. So this DuckDuckGo search, let's see how to install. So this is pip install DuckDuckGo search. Copy this, put it here, install. If you do that, it will install everything. So I have already installed. Yes, it's done. Cool. So after I publish this code, you can just uncomment and run this. Okay, so here what we are doing is we are getting the news. So we are not interested in the search result, but we are interested in recent news, like today's news, yesterday news, things like that. So if you do just search on Google, you will get Microsoft Tech News. You won't get the recent one. You will get the top article. Since we need the recent news, we are using DuckDuckGo.news module. Here you can pass any keyword like Microsoft Tech News, or let's use Microsoft News. Then region, this is worldwide. And let's say you're investing in some company that exists only in some countries, then you can change this to a particular country like AU, things like that. For me, I'm using worldwide. WT is worldwide. And save search off, and I'm getting like 10 results. So let's run this. So here we are getting 10 results. So this one 17. So this happened today. So today is 17, and the title is Microsoft 1.5 billion funding for G42 signals growing US-China rift, and you'll see the news. And similarly, you are getting like 10 news. So Microsoft also investing a lot in other countries. So these are some of the news that's happening today. Let's print this. Okay, so it looks like this. Then what I have done is, since this looks like this, it also has URL of the image and link. I converted everything as a pandas data frame. So in the pandas data frame, I put the title, image, URL, body. Then I convert everything as a HTML. Then I use ipython.display to display it. So let's run this. So here, if the image is available, you will see the picture. Yep. So you can see the picture I use. Maybe let's close this. Okay, I can change the width 100. Let's run this. Yeah, you can see the picture. So news title, link. If you click the link, you will see the news. It's on my other screen. Then some snippet of the news. So let's use, this is Microsoft. Cool. So Since we have got some snippet, we can create a news prompt. In the news prompt, I'm using date, title, then source of the news and article. So some source of the article are very interesting and relevant, like Bloom, Bloomberg, MSN, TechCrunch. So these are really good blog posts. So we need those like title, news source, and body. So let's create a prompt. So in the prompt, what I'm doing is I'm just combining everything as a news prompt. So this is the news prompt. Cool. So far, uh, we have got all the details needed to build some LLM calls. Since we have got Microsoft stock graph as a picture, we can convert that as a data like a string. For that, we can use import base64. Then base64, we can encode that as a string and decode as UTF-8. So let's run this. So after running this picture is converted to a string. Maybe let me display first 10 characters. So that looks like this. Maybe let's display more. So the image looks like this. Then we can pass this as an input to the model. In the model, what I'm doing is, so this is my prompt. I'm using Claude 3 Opus 2024 0 to 29. If you are looking for some cheaper options, you can change this to Haiku or Sonnet. So since you have $5 free, you can also use Opus for experiments. So my system prompt is, you are an expert stock market analyst. Then in the content, I'm creating two content. The first one is I'm putting my image. It's a image data. So image data looks like this, passing that. And I'm saying this is type 64 and the image is image PNG file. So if you see the file, this is like PNG file. Cool. Then in the second message, analyze the stock graph and the news article to provide a summary of the stock's performance and future outlook for the stock name. Then I am also passing the news prompt. Also predict your own stock price for the next 3 days. Let's see what the model says. It's running. Okay. So you can read the response here. Based on the provided stock graph and news article, here is my analysis of Microsoft stock performance, future outlook. And over the last 3 months, Microsoft stock price has shown upward trend 395 in the late 2024 to currently trading near 425. The stock has seen some fluctuations along the way, but has generally maintained in its bullish momentum, which is good. And it analyzes all the news we have passed. Then this is the prediction. So it says it's going to increase. Next tomorrow it says 428 to 432, then 430 to 35, 430 to 38. So it predicts Microsoft stock price will continue to rise in the short term. So based on the news, the sentiment is very positive and the upward momentum. So that's its prediction. The company is increasing focus. It's expanding presence. It's in key markets like Middle East could drive further innovation and revenue growth. So which is good. I haven't started trading any stock yet. Maybe soon. Not yet. Thought funny. Cool. Okay. Since we have created everything, we are going to use function calling and then we can automate this. We don't have to type. Let's say if you are looking for some Microsoft stock. Let's say you don't know Microsoft is MSFT, you don't have to care about that. You, since we are using function calling, the model will figure it out what parameter to pass to some function. So we have written two function, get and plot stock and get news summary. There are two functions that we have already written. Let's run this. So here you can pass any input like Apple, and you will see the Apple stock data. Then to get the news summary, run this, and all the news summary is chained for our prompt. Since we have written two function, we are going to create that as tools. So tools and function calling are almost similar. So what here we are describing two functions. Let's see. I wonder if Claude can explain how did it calculate the values predictor. Yeah, we can ask it to explain the guess, like how it calculated based on the. I think based on the trend, it sees some momentum, and also it sees the recent news, like the sentiment is quite positive. So it predicts, okay, everything is going really well. The stock price will be increasing for the next few days. Good question. How would you compare the capability of LLM AI and time series convolutional neural networks in predicting future values of tabular data? So this is the first time I'm doing some time series data by converting everything as a convolutional neural network and see how that looks like. So if you see one of the Anthropic Claude 3 capabilities, their strong capability is analyzing uh, pictures, like any data pictures, it will analyze really well. We don't have to pass all the data, you just pass the image, it sees the trend, it knows on what month it did well, on what month it didn't do well. It also knows the pattern. If there is any cyclic pattern, it finds the cyclic pattern interesting, things like that. So it's a quick way of doing things. I just quickly built all the thing in just 30 minutes. I also used Cursor. This is my this is Visual Studio Code, but this is Cursor. um, Cursor has access to large language models. Like I can ask questions, um, then it will respond, then I can copy paste and do things. So second question, do you need to train LLM models for this sort of analysis? I haven't trained an LLM or fine-tuned the LLM. I just use the LLM that's already available. I think um, it's good to train the LLM for these kind of analysis. That will be very interesting, but I haven't done that before. Good question, Tim. Cool. So now we are converting our function to JSON. So here we have to pass a few things. It is very descriptive. You don't have to pass the real function. You just write the function what it does. So we have written two functions. One is get stock price, then describe the function really well so that our LLM will know how to convert a function to something. Like if you pass I need Apple stock, it will know how to convert Apple to AAPL. So we create the function. Then what are the required parameters for the function? Here the ticker is required one. Similarly for get new summary, the keywords are required one. Cool. So we created two JSON. Let's run this. So question, should I invest in Apple stock? So this is the question. We don't have to worry about manually doing things. Since the function calling functions are already available, we don't have to convert Apple to APL. It will run it automatically. Maybe let's change this to NVIDIA because I have no idea what NVIDIA stock name is. Let's run this. So here what I have done is I added a new thing called tools. Tools as tools. This one we have created. Then I passed my question, should I invest in NVIDIA stock? Now the response is tools beta message. So this is beta. The tools is very new and it's in beta now. If you see the content, the user is asking some content is there. Maybe let's print this one. It says it didn't finish everything. It stopped because tool use. Let's get the response. Some response is there. Okay, NVIDIA stock name is NVDA. And it says we have to call this function get stock price. So these are our available functions. Then I can get my function name and function input. Function name is get stock price and function input is ticker NVDA. I'm getting the ticker. Then I'm getting the stock graph file. So this is NVIDIA stock, which is going crazy. 3 months ago, just 3 months ago, it was below 600. Now it's like more than 850. Crazy. Cool. Now we convert this to stock file data. Then we are passing give me. So far what we have done is, so this is our question. Our question is, should I invest in NVIDIA stock? We created one function call to get the stock graph. Then the second function call is to get some keyword for the news. So it's running. So the keyword is NVIDIA stock and we get some response. And we pass all the data to the model. We'll get some response. Meanwhile, let me check. Scott question, would you expect same result in OpenAI? Yes, we can expect very similar results in OpenAI. OpenAI GPT-4 and Claude 3 Opus are almost head to head, very similar. So we can get similar results with OpenAI too. Second question, is the LLM also incorporating current recommendations from brokers such as Goldman Sachs when answering the question, should I invest in NVDA? If you are using OpenAI to answer this, OpenAI's knowledge cutoff is December 2023, so it doesn't know anything recent knowns. So what we can do is we can also pass a lot of other information in the prompt, like if you have any recommendations like set of rules, we can create a document, files, and we can pass it to the model. So we can also do this. Good question, Tim. Okay, so this is the response we are getting based on the stock price graph and recent news article. Here is the summary of new NVIDIA stock performance. And stock performance, the graph shows NVIDIA stock price over the last 3 months. After a significant run-up, the stock has pulled back from its highs recently, but is still up strongly year to date. It closed at 876.9 in the latest trading day, up nearly 2%. Then it analyzed some news. My 3-day stock price prediction, given the still positive analyst sentiment despite near-term headwinds, I expect NVIDIA to stabilize and resume its uptrend in the coming days. So these are the predictions. Cool. I think it's like 900 up. Cool. It's seeing some upward trend. It might go somewhere here. It's a very short one. I got this idea and I quickly built this. Thought of sharing with you all. Maybe after this session, I will convert this as a blog post and I will share it on our channels and my blog. You can have a look. I'll wait for Scott question and then we can end this session. And I'm teaching similar session next week on Tuesday. Maybe Tim, can you share our next week meetup here? Because we usually teach on Wednesday. Due to some place availability, we are teaching on Tuesday. So please have a look here. So have you considered running this so you can see how well it predicts? Yeah, I will have a look like what the prediction says and how the trend looks like. It also affects the prediction also affects by recent news, so it's very hard to predict. But still, this is I feel like this is a good decent approach. You see the trend and you see the news. If the news is like great, something like very a lot of interesting things happening, you might feel like the stock price might go up, like how we human perceive things. um, it's a very interesting area to work. Cool. So you can see our next meetup here. Thanks everyone. I will answer a few questions here and see you all next week. Bye.